Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I'm Kev and this is KRT Electrical Services, and today we're going to be reviewing this, the Milwaukee M12 Electricians Cable Stapler. So let's get on with it. So as I said, people, welcome to the channel. If you're new around here, welcome. Please consider subscribing or liking or, commenting. It all helps the channel grow. And if you're not new and you're someone coming back, then thank you very much for your continued support. So yeah, today we are going to be reviewing the Milwaukee M12 Electricians Cable Stapler. The model number is M12 BCST. And as I say, this is part of the M12 Milwaukee range. Now, I thought I'd do a review on this because I previously had the Dewalt Electricians Cable Stapler, and I brought that. I was one of the first people to have that, and I brought it, and I'll link a video up here because I did a review on it. So I thought it would be good to review this one because I'm one of very few people that have had both, and I'll be able to give an honest opinion like I did in that review on this one and compare them. So yeah, what I'll do is I'll bring you in a little bit closer onto the bench, and then we'll have a closer look at this. So welcome to the bench cam. So as you can see, this is the Milwaukee M12 Electricians Cable Stapler, and it's very much the same as other cable staplers on the market, the same sort of form factor. It's sort of held using this grip fashion with the cartridge on the front, which opens via this little push button here and slides down. So as I say, I have owned both the Dewalt and now obviously the Milwaukee cable stapler, so I'm basically going to compare them and what I think to both and which one's better. They're both around the same sort of price, around £200, and it's important to note that I'm not sponsored by Milwaukee or any other tool company, so any opinions in this video is my own opinion, and it's not a sponsored video. I'm not sponsored by anyone. So I've been using this now for a year, and the reason I bought this instead of keeping the Dewalt one is that I changed over to Milwaukee, and in particular the M12 platform, and this was just a perfect fit really when you change platforms. So it's powered by any M12 battery. This 2 amp hour battery will work absolutely fine, and all that does is slots in the back there and clips in. As I say, it's got a nice like hook there to hook that onto your work trousers or any dungarees or whatever you're wearing. I know some people wear them. And then it's got the cartridge here, so the loading of the staples goes in here, and then once in position, which I'll demonstrate shortly, you close that there. The trigger is a one-hit trigger, but it has to be activated by this bit of sort of metal being pushed in by the cable that's going to be in between these two prongs. So one thing you can't do with the Dewalt cable stapler is you can't staple the cable, it just don't work. But with this you have to be extra careful because you actually can, and I have gone through a cable with this previously. So when it comes to loading staples, as I say, you pull this down here, this cartridge down, and then you open up this slot, and you've got this bit in particular which is a little bit wider here, and this is where you load the staples in. So the staples for the Milwaukee cable stapler come in this, and you get a box which has 600 in, and each length of staple has 20 staples, so 20 hits. You can load this using 2 lengths of cables, or staples, sorry. So you push that in there, put that one in there, and then push them together, and there's still a tiny bit of room there, but obviously there's no point breaking them off. You might as well just wait until you've had that 40 and then reload it. But then all you do is push that up, and that clicks into position, and now you're ready to go. So as I previously said, with the Dewalt one, you can't physically push it down on a flat surface like that and staple, but with the Milwaukee one you can. So for example, if we get this bit of wood over here, which currently doesn't have any cables or anything in between which will activate that, if we just have it on a flat bit of wood, we can actually put a staple into that, whereas the Dewalt one you can't. So that's just something to be aware of. Right, so let's now try this out with some everyday run-of-the-mill cables. So what we'll start off with first of all is a bit of 1mm twin and earth. So what I found, if you watch the Dewalt cable stapler review video, is that sometimes with smaller cables the staples don't go in far enough and the cable gets, you know, it sort of moves around and allows it to move around in the staples. But with the Milwaukee, that doesn't happen at all. You can see straight away I didn't press any, you know, I didn't particularly press hard. I mean, I don't think it's pressure operated, but you can see that that cable is absolutely sort of trapped in there. And then if I add another cable stapler there, you can see that that is just not coming out. Well, if I pull it, it really does come out, but you can see it's made a slight indentation on the cable there where that cable clip was. So as long as you don't pull on the cables like ridiculously hard, there's no way that that is going to come out of position. So from that point of view, I really rate this, because yeah, as I say, in my other review video, when it comes to the Dewalt one sometimes moved around a bit and was a bit loose and stuff like that. So this doesn't do that, which I quite like. So what we have now is a bit of 2.5mm twin and earth, and what I'll do is I'll put that there, and as you'll see, this staples exactly the same, absolutely fine, perfect. So if you're house bashing or you're a domestic electrician or whatever, 1mm, 1.5mm, 2.5mm, you know, they're going to probably be your go-to cables for lighting circuits or ring final circuits and stuff like that. So yeah, in terms of clipping those around joists in lofts or, you know, under floorboards or whatever, you can see it gives you quite a nice finish, a nice tight finish. There's going to be no strain on that cable whatsoever. Yeah, so from that point of view, I really do think this is a good product. So when it comes to slightly bigger cables, a bit of 6mm twin and earth, so what we'll do is we'll put that there, and hopefully it will go in between the two jaws, which it does. And then we'll clip on that one, and then we'll clip on that one. So now, as you can see, with the 6mm, again, that's clamped down nicely into that. You can see that staple hasn't gone as far in because the, you know, the bulkiness of the cable, but it's still made it nice and tight. That's going absolutely nowhere. So you've got 1mm, you've got 2.5mm, you've got 6mm. Obviously in between that you could have a 4, and that's going to work absolutely fine. And then what we'll do is we'll try a 10mm. I've genuinely never tried a bit of 10mm in this, so we'll see if it actually clamps it into place, and we'll see. Right, push that on there. And as you can see, a bit of 10mm, it has clamped it either side. It's not pierced any of the outer sheathing. You've got a nice sturdy finish again. That's going absolutely nowhere. So yeah, overall, you know, that is pretty neat. There's plenty of strain relief on those cables. They're not going anywhere unless you absolutely rip that one mad, which you can, but I mean, I'm putting quite a lot of force into that 1mm. The 2.5 just isn't moving, and neither is the 6 or the 10. That's not going to go anywhere. So yeah, let me bring you back out from the bench, and then we'll have a final chat about it. So what's my conclusion on the Milwaukee M12 Electricians Cable Stapler? Well, I think it's really good. As I say, I did previously have the Dewalt one, and I was one of the first ever to have that. I probably bought that 5-6 years ago now. But I have sold that on because I went to the M12 platform. But I think this is an improvement on the Dewalt one, purely from the point of view that the Dewalt one with the smaller cables, it's okay with the bigger cables, but with the smaller cables you get them moving around because the staples don't go into the timber as hard as these do and clamp the cable into position. So from that point of view, I think this is better. However, Dewalt cable stapler is still very capable. It will give you a good job. It just means that if you're putting one small cable in there, it can wiggle around a bit and look a bit messy whereas obviously if you've got these nicely in line, nicely level and stuff, they can look pretty tidy really, like you can do a cable clip, a nailed cable clip. So so yeah, overall very good, not too heavy. I've carried this around lofts and had this on my belt for many a time in a loft. It's not too heavy, not too cumbersome. It does fit into joists, so if you've got a timber there and you've got a joist there, it does fit in. So yeah, it's not too big in terms of form factor. The Dewalt one's a little bit bigger, a bit more squarer and chunky at the top, whereas this one's a bit slimmer. But I guess that Milwaukee had the hindsight of the Dewalt one coming out probably 3-4 years in advance of this one. So but yeah, overall a very good tool for an electrician, especially if you're first fixing. It saves so much time, saves you having clips in your mouth and dropping them and banging your fingers with a hammer and all that stuff that we've all done in the past. So it does save you time. I'm not sure of the current price of the cable staples, so you'd have to have a look at those. They did come down a bit in price because they were quite expensive initially, but I'm not sure what the current price is, and we're currently sort of May 2024, so I suspect they'll probably come down a bit more because this has been out now for probably for 3 years, 2-3 years. So so yeah, overall a very good product. Thoroughly recommend it for any electrician who does a lot of first fixing, extensions, etc, rewires. It will save you a lot of time, and time is money. So yeah, but that's the Dewalt M12 Electricians Cable Stapler, the M12 BCST. So yeah, if you've got any questions, or I think I've missed anything from this review, put something in the comments and I'll quite happily answer any of your questions. And yeah, that's about it for this one, guys. So thank you very much for tuning in. I've got a couple other things planned, content sort of lined up. So yeah, stay tuned, subscribe if you want to, and we'll see you on the next one. So yeah, bye for now.